Hello everyone, this is the first video of SQL series. So if you are beginner to SQL, then keep watching this video. Let's start. So first question is, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. SQL is built up for specifically databases to communicate with databases. SQL is a standardized database language. Most of the popular databases such as MySQL, Oracle, MariaDB, SQL Server use this language SQL with bit of proprietary elements. So our next question is, why we need SQL? Basically, SQL is a language. So it is obvious thing that SQL can be used for communication with whom or with maybe something or to someone. So, the answer of why we need SQL is to communicate with databases. So our next question is, what is the purpose of SQL? By using SQL, we can communicate with databases. So SQL is a language by which we can store, manipulate and perform various operations in databases. We can perform CRUD operation also. CRUD means simply create, retrieve, update and delete. By using SQL, we can also perform administrative tasks on databases such as security, backup and user management. We can easily create tables in databases by using SQL. Table is a combination of rows and columns. On that table, we can update rows, we can alter columns, column names, we can delete rows and columns, we can rename table, we can retrieve the data of that whole table or selected specific rows. So by using, we can get what we want. By using the SQL, we can get what we want or which kind of data we want exactly. But the question is, how can we perform that operations on databases using SQL? The answer is very simple. We must know the query. So what is SQL query? Our next question is, what is SQL query? SQL query is sequence of or maybe a combination of some English chosen words which are specifically used in SQL. SQL query is set of instructions given to databases to perform an operations to a table. SQL query is also named as SQL commands. So our last question is types of SQL queries, which are DQL, DDL, DCL, DN. It's so speedy, but let's start. So the first type is DQL, which is data query language. Data query language is used to fetch the information from the databases which is already stored. Example of DQL data query language is select query. Our next type of SQL query is DDL, which is data definition language, which is used to define table schemas. So what are, according to what you understand by table schemas? So basically table schemas are how can we create a table or how can we define a particular column name, constraints of column or keys of column. So these all are considered in table schemas. Basically, DDL commands are attached to column and table, not for rows. Columns are also known as, in SQL also it is known as entities entities and fields. Next type of SQL queries are DCL, which is data control language. It is used for rights and permission management of databases. Example of DCL commands are revoke and grant, which is used to give a permission to users and to accessibility to the user. Fourth type of SQL queries are DML commands, which is data manipulation language, which is used for inserting, updating and deleting data from the database. Mostly inserting and updating data is attached to rows. Rows are also known as records in table. Example of DML commands are insert, update, deleting a rows, and some of the books are also considered select query as a DML command. So that's it. I hope you understand the basics of SQL. So thank you, and please like, share and subscribe my channel.